What is up, everyone? It is Midwest Raider Game Update coming at you with another video for my channel today. I just want to make a video wrapping up the year, talking about the last few games that I missed that I didn't get to bring to you, and then just talk about everything that's been going on. And please let me know what you guys think as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Midwest Raider Game Update. Please subscribe. And if you have fun or you want to talk some Raider Nation football, put a comment down. All right, let's talk about and sum up the last couple games. So lose against the Steelers. Now, I haven't made a video since around that time, and so we did lose 10-13. They had a 50th anniversary for their team. They had lost a player right around that same time, so I kind of knew this game was going to go to the Steelers no matter what happened. If it was going to be a good game, a bad game, the Steelers are going to win this game. And you kind of notice in the NFL, those things kind of happen. Okay, so crazy things happen, and that team wins. So it's kind of a tribute. I understand good things like that. So I knew we weren't going to win that Steelers game. Then we come down to the 49ers. After that Steelers game, Derek Carr had not a very good game, but it was decided by Josh McDaniels to go ahead and bench him. I was not totally agreeing in this. I really think they did Derek Carr dirty. They blew some smoke up our butts that they had. Josh McDaniels had a great conversation with the quarterbacks, and they decided to go with Stidham. But then Derek Carr doesn't show up. So evidently they did not have a great conversation with the quarterbacks because one of your quarterbacks left and decided that he wasn't going to be part of the team anymore. So instead of telling us that they had a great conversation, blowing smoke, lying to the fan base, they should have just said, I'm going to start Jarrett Stidham because I think that's what's going to be best for the team. Derek Carr did not approve of that, and so he has left the building. I would have rather heard that than everything they've been lying to us all year about, and even telling us that Derek Carr was the man and they were going to try to build this team around Derek Carr, and that's why he took this great team-friendly deal and all this great stuff this whole year. And then with coaching decisions and play calls, we lose crazy games for no reason, and Derek Carr is made to look as the scapegoat, even though he has taken us on a roller coaster. Taking us through a roller coaster and had many crazy years with the Raiders. Now, I am okay moving on from Derek Carr. I am a Derek Carr fan. I hope he does great wherever he lands. I'm okay with Derek Carr moving on. I'm not okay with the way they did Derek Carr. They should have let him play the season. I don't care if he wasn't planning on getting hurt. He wasn't going to screw the Raiders, okay? You never know what could happen in a game. Yes, I understand that, but this was not cool. It's just not cool to say, "Hey, you're not going to play, and we're going to start him instead." It's when you're a starter in the NFL, there's a lot of pride that goes into that and that kind of stuff, and you're just going to tell him no. He left the building, so I don't blame him. That's great, whatever, but I don't like the way they did that. It was horrible. They lied to the fan base as well. They lied to us. If you notice, they're kicking people out for making signs about that, keep Derek Carr, fire Josh McDaniels, that kind of stuff. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's not a good look for the Raiders. We're the Raider Nation. We're the most loyalist fans in the NFL, and you're gonna mock us for having an opinion, okay? It just shouldn't be done. We're fans. We're keeping the money coming in. Buying your merchandise, you can at least listen to us. You don't have to like it. You could just listen, okay? A lot of people have jobs where they have to listen to people every day. That doesn't mean they have to like it, okay? So it just ticks me off a little bit when people are like that. It just looks Tell bad. Us the truth. Tell us that you're rebuilding this team this year, and that we're gonna roll the dice with Derek Carr. We don't know if we like him or not, but we're gonna roll the dice and we're gonna check it out. And then. So it's really hard to believe anything that Dave Ziegler says now and Josh McDaniels. In my opinion, it's hard to believe because it's just blowing smoke. Oh, yeah, we're having great conversations with players. And how many times have you heard Josh McDaniels says, I've always been honest with my players and this kind of stuff? Who says that? If you're honest with your players, you don't have to say you're being honest with your players. So it's looking really bad. It's making me laugh. And so let's move on. But it is hard what they did to Derek Carr. I think, in my opinion, they should have let him play. and then said, okay, we're going to part with you. We don't think he got what we need. Fine. It's a business. Take care of business and move on. But the way they did it, crazy. Also, like I said, I just think it's horrible what they're doing to fans, kicking them out for having their opinions, and then not listening to us, okay? So Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, I don't trust them. You can't believe what they say in press conferences. It's hard to listen to what they say. I'd rather listen to the players, because even in the players' voices, you can kind of tell what they're thinking. They're like, I'm going to say the right thing. So it's painful. So Raider Nation, tell me what you think of that. Please let me know. As a fan, you think we kind of got lied to, blowed smoke a little bit, and then, kind of backfiring because you're hearing these stories. Why does a quarterback just walk out and not want to be with his team? Because he did not have a great conversation and approved of what you were doing. Total lie. Anyways, coming up next, talk about players that we get to keep this year are going to be people like Crosby, Waller, Renfrow, and Devontae. Devontae's a big Carr is the reason they got Devontae over here, and then they pulled the plug on Carr, but we're like, yeah, we got Devontae though. So who are they going to bring in as a quarterback? We don't know yet, but some key players that I just want to talk about real quick. Denzel Perryman, that are free agents this year, are Perryman, Clelin Ferrell, Hollins, Rocky Ya-Sin, Deron Harmon, Roderick Teamer, Josh Jacobs, Brandon Parker, Jacob Johnson, which is our fullback, Keenan Cole, Amir Abdullah, Jared Stidham, and Foster Monroe. Now, depending on what they're going to bring in for a quarterback, going to have a big change on some of this. I really appreciate what Josh Jacobs says. He just played football. That's all. He made a business decision, stayed professional, said the right things, did the right things. You could tell that he was upset that Derek Carr left. They're friends, I guarantee it. But he remained professional and did what he needed to do and tried to do the best he could. Josh Jacobs had a great season. Davante Adams had a great season. So I don't know. Davante Adams had his best number, like some of his best numbers with the Raiders in 15 games with Derek Carr, and yet we benched Derek Carr. It just doesn't make sense. We had an opportunity to make the playoffs. You're not trying to win if you're benching our starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. I hated the way that was played out. But anyways, back to these players that I would like to keep really quick. Perryman, I think he still has a year or two left. He was a little bit injury prone, but he just knows how to play the linebacker position. I think he could tutor some new players coming in, still provide some help on certain downs. He was the best player at playing screens and little side passes. He read those so good and would just kill whoever got the ball. So I really appreciate that. And, Perryman, I would be one player that I really want to hold on to. Josh Jacobs would be one as well, but I just don't see that with the Patriot way. They don't believe in paying running backs tons of money, and I just don't see it. So we'll see what happens, but I would love to hold on to Josh Jacobs, but I don't see that happening. Mac Hollins had ups and downs. I think they'll bring in another receiver, and because he just wasn't consistent through the whole year. Rock Ya-Sin played really, really good, and I hope we can lock down all three of these secondary people, Teamer, Harmon, and Rock. I think they played really well, especially Rock. Definitely lockdown corner. You don't remember hearing a lot of his name because he was locked down. They weren't throwing that direction. They were going other directions. Harmon and Teamer were up and down with a few things, but for the most part, they were very positive in that secondary, so I appreciate what they did, and I would re-sign them because I don't think they're taking crazy money. Depending on what they're going to do with the fullback, I would like to keep a fullback. I do like that power run scenario that John Gruden brought in. I don't know if that's what they're going to do with the Patriot way, but we'll figure that out. Amir Abdullah is another guy that I would love to keep. I think he still has some tread on the tires, and I think he would be cheap enough to hold on and still be that third down back that can take the ball if you want him to run, but that also is great to break out for passes and take those types of passes. So it was really cool to watch him, and as a Nebraska fan, I'm still happy that he's on the team, and I hope we can hold on to him for at least one more year. Keenan Cole was this up and down guy. Towards the end of the year, he definitely got a little bit better, but towards the beginning of the year, he was dropping some balls. It was very frustrating, making some mistakes, things like that. And yes, he got better towards the end of the season, but not enough that I really think he's an asset to the team. I really think I'd rather hold on to Hollins than Keelan Cole. I think there's some other better options out there. If we could go ahead and pick somebody else up, that would be great. Keelan Cole is another player that I just don't know if we're going to hold on to. Foster Monroe, depending on who we pick up in the offseason, I think he would be a great asset. He does know the system well. He's a great blocker. Not always the best catcher, but a great blocker, and I think just for that reason would help us in the run game, and I think he's a great player to go ahead and hold on to. We are going to have the most cap space coming out there this season. I think right now we're at $21 million or something like that, but with the Derek Carr trade or release or whatever is going to come on, we're going to have a lot more cap space within that. So we're going to be up in the top 10 of cap space, so we're going to have a lot of money to go pick up some certain players, and I hope they do so. Now, we are going to have to pay a quarterback depending on who we're bringing in. We're going to have to pay them good money. So we'll see who we're going to bring in, but here are some options out there right now. Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Lamar Jackson. Also, some rumors out there that Aaron Rodgers might not be happy where he's at. And I think that would be the best story for the Raiders. Aaron Rodgers is kind of weird. He's kind of like tough, yet, does his own thing. He does have a Raider mentality that I would love to see come to the Raiders. So let me know what you think about that, but I really think Aaron Rodgers would be a good Raider, and I think he would like to be united with Davante Adams as well. That would be a great season. Jimmy G would be another one that I wouldn't mind, but I think he's really, really similar. I don't even know if he's better than Derek Carr, but he might be a little bit more mobile, but he's also injury prone, gets injured, those types of things. I think he'd be a decent quarterback, but it would be very comparable. The only thing that would be a positive is that he's worked in McDaniel's offense before. Same thing with Tom Brady. We'll get to him in a second, but Tom Brady I'll leave for last. Baker Mayfield would be a choice out there, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't think he's fantastic. I mean, they made him look really good when we played the Rams this year, but other than that, I don't really like that idea. Daniel Jones is a younger quarterback that I think would probably be a better fit. I think he'd be that Patriot type of quarterback, so I think that would be a better fit. I'm okay with this idea of Daniel Jones trying him out for a year, and we could see what could happen. Also, finally, Lamar Jackson's out there, but I don't think he fits McDaniel's offense being, Lamar Jackson. So I just don't think that's going to happen, but it is an option. Then finally, Tom Brady. Now, as a Raider fan, I definitely want to talk about Tom Brady. It would be really hard to swallow. I'm a true Raider fan that has been cheering since the late 80s and the Al Davis way, the commitment to excellence, all that kind of stuff. I'm a true believer in that. And Tom Brady and the Patriots and the Raiders just don't have history that is fantastic. And I still am one of those people that just don't like the Patriots because of the history of the Raiders. So I don't want to see Tom Brady as a Raider, in my opinion. I don't think Al Davis would have ever did that. But Al Davis isn't here anymore, and it's Mark Davis's team. So he's going to do what he's going to do. He's already brought in McDaniels and Ziegler, who are trying to bring in this Patriot way that will never be the Raider way, but we'll see what happens with it. But in my opinion, I don't want to see Tom Brady, but if Tom Brady comes here, I think it would be a 1-year type deal, maybe a 2-year deal. It's a 2-year deal maybe that really he's only going to play for 1 more year and see where he takes us. Now, we do host the Super Bowl next year. If Tom Brady came here and we won the Super Bowl, he would be one of the first players to ever win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams. So that would be kind of crazy. That is a story that could be put out there. Also, a lot of Raider fans is like, well, Tom Brady took a Super Bowl away from us, so he should probably come here and bring us a Super Bowl. Well, that is an option. We did hear about 2 or 3 years ago when it was all applied with the whole Dana White thing that, he had it worked out for Tom Brady and Gronk to come to the Raiders and, get us there then. And kind of Gruden was like, no on that. So I believe that Tom Brady is not a great fit for the Raiders, but we'll see what's going to happen with that. I would rather see probably Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy G, or Daniel Jones come here, or even some kind of trade for Mac Jones from the Patriots would be cool as well. I think that'd be a good thing to come about. But I just don't see the point of bringing in Tom Brady for 1 year and then having to start all over with our quarterback. You're not really bringing us a dynasty. You're bringing us a 1 year. Let's see what we can do out there and then rebuild the next year. So I don't know if that's what they want to do. Yes, Raiders fans would probably be happy with all the losing we've done in the last 20 years to see at least this take us for 1 year of fun. But I'd rather see us take us for a couple years of fun. Hopefully I got a lot of good points across, and give me some feedback on that. Let me know what you guys think out there. I'm really interested. If I'm not on pace or if I'm totally in left field, what do you think of the season this year? It was a lot of dysfunction actually, and you could see that in press conferences. You could see it from players. You could see that they just, even though they were saying things, puff and smoke, I don't think they believed what they were saying, and it was evident in some of the press conferences that I was watching that I just really felt like we were being deceived the whole season. And to now understand that we kind of were, it's kind of funny to me because I kind of called it the whole season. Like there's some dysfunction in there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening, but it's just something I've never seen, and this year we're seeing it. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll make some more videos eventually and talk about any big news that comes out, but other than that, you probably won't see me for a little bit. But if you want to see some videos or have any topics that you want to talk about, let me know, and I definitely want to get into them. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been Midwest Raider Game Update. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all later.